I'm Annie. Contact information is in the description. Are you gullible or guidable? Today I'm going to talk about intuition. A lot of people ask how to develop intuition. And I'm not strictly talking about intuition in terms of cognitive functions, although that does influence the way that I perceive and communicate. I'm talking more about using intuition to make decisions, like feeling guided and making decisions intuitively. So in terms of communication, I speak NF, intuitive feeling, and many people find that frustrating and obnoxious. It's not really grounded in sensory or logic, but it is just the language that I use, and it's how I understand the world. So here's how I would describe my experience of navigating the world using intuition. So gullible is when you listen to fear and you follow it into an unpleasant illusion. Guidable is when you listen to love and you follow it into a happy dream. So here's an example of what this feels like. Imagine that someone calls you on the phone and they leave a message and they say, "Hi, this is your best friend Sally. It's an emergency. I need your help. Please come right away." You listen to this message and you think, that does not sound like Sally's voice. If Sally is your best friend, she wouldn't say, "Hello, this is Sally, your best friend." It doesn't make any sense. She wouldn't have any need to announce herself because you know her so well that you know her by her voice. So a real phone call from Sally would sound something like, "Hi, it's me. It's an emergency. I need your help. Come right away." And you wouldn't hesitate. You would know from the sound of her voice that this is your best friend Sally. You would grab your keys, get in your car, and go help Sally. You know because these two voices are very, very distinct. You know Sally so well that you cannot mistake her for anyone else. And that's what being guided by intuition feels like. There's a lot of noise. There's a lot of different voices. But there is a distinct voice with a specific quality. It's the quality of truth and it's the quality of love. And that is the voice that you can learn to follow. So if you're open to it, you can learn to distinguish between these two voices. And once you get the hang of it, it really isn't that hard. You can't be fooled. So I do hear two different voices. My mind is split. I hear both voices, but one voice is benevolent and has a quality of feeling true, and the other voice is a trickster. It feels fearful plus wrong, because sometimes the voice is true, but you also feel a little bit of fear in reaction to the truth, but they just feel distinctly different. So when the voice feels true and you also feel a little bit of fear, you can still trust that the truth is true and you can move in that direction and know that even if you are afraid, you're okay. So the trickster voice is extremely logical, and so that can be confusing because we are conditioned to trust logic. But something can be extremely logical and completely insane at the same time. So it's really easy to be convinced by this voice. But again, it has a different quality. It feels different. It doesn't feel right. But the other voice, the benevolent voice, also guides with logic sometimes. But it uses logic plus that benevolent feeling is also present. A very distinct feeling of goodness. So sometimes it uses logic, sometimes it doesn't. And even when no logic is present, you can't identify any logic that would tell you to move in a particular direction, you can still trust it if it has the distinct quality of that benevolent voice that you've become familiar with over time through practice. So when I feel a direction calling to me and I feel the quality of that benevolence and truth and correctness, I know that it's safe to go in that direction. And that is a big load of NF for you right there. But that is exactly how intuition works for me. And I do think that this can be developed. Really logical minds navigate the world differently, and that's fine. But I think also having this skill of a feeling of rightness is helpful and can be used as extra information. So follow the logic, but also look for this extra information. How does it feel? Does it feel right? Does this direction feel right? And you might be able to develop that sense. I don't know. That's just how I do it.